text message out PHP. This is great. Let's see, what we got here? We got nothing. That's what we have.
You all should definitely come to the colloquium this week.
We did it.
It's about zombies.
Wait, is that the Oregon Trail thing I saw a
Yeah.
flyer up for? That should be very interesting.
No.
The software engineering project is they're making an Android game with Oregon Trail and zombies.
That's awesome. I think they said something about December. They're going to be releasing here the plans for it. That'd definitely be very interesting, though.
Zombies, hips and guns.
Real quick question. Does anyone here, since this is all computer nerds, know how to play a 16-bit game on 64-bit Windows? Without using a virtual machine?
They took out 16-bit support and Windows 7, but before that, no, you can do an emulator.
I know I could just run a virtual machine with XP or something on it.
Yeah.
Play it on that. I was just curious if there's any way to get around it or if they just completely took it out.
It's a lot harder to do it from 64-bit. You kind of use 16-bit codec solution when you go up to 16-bit.
Because I downloaded the original Metal Gear Solid and I was trying to play it. Or, no, Metal Gear. I was trying to play it and it's like, no, you're trying to run this in 64, but you're screwed.
You can download it.
I know. I was trying to download the PC port for it. Because I figured that'd be...
Yeah, you already.
Okay.
You said I was really, I was waiting on my guy. All right.
Would anyone care if I card go for second place?
Alrighty. Alright, so today we're presenting KML, which is the markup language used by Google Earth. My name is Travis Cooper. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Mercer graduate. I work in town at Southern Trust Insurance, doing a lot of database and business systems analyzation. KML stands for Keyhole Markup Language. It's basically a markup for Earth browsers. I had never actually heard that term before until I started doing some research on this. The only Earth browser I've ever really used is Google Earth, but it can, according to developers.google.com, there's a couple different Earth browsers out there. They consider Google Maps an Earth browser as well. KML allows you to do a lot of different things as far as viewing it. Allows different place marks, paths, overlays, images, and whatnot to be placed. You can do a lot of stuff with it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. There's basically 3 different ways to create KML. The first one is to use Google Earth itself. In Google Earth, there's a GUI interface, and as you have Earth here, I'll pull it up on your desktops if you want. It should be on your computers. Go into Program or in the Start menu, all programs in Google Earth. You've got the world here, and there's a few options here at the top. one is you can put a place mark down. And we're just going to call this test place mark. This place mark that just got put in the center of my screen is actually KML. And the way you can see it is you can select it, right click on it and copy, go into a text editor like Notepad++, and paste it, and you'll get the KML that represents that place mark on the map. Same thing can be done for all of the different things that you can put out on the map, like draw a polygon. On the map, just a weird shape. And do the same thing. Copy. Take it over to a text editor of some kind, paste it, and get the KML that represents it. The second way to do it is by hand. You can just open up any text editor. Open up any text editor that you want, be it Notepad++, gedit, VI, Vim, Emacs, yes, Michael. And it's essentially XML is what it is. So it can also be, and on that note, it can also be validated using an XML validator since it's XML. Which will help you with closing tags if you decide to write some KML by hand. It'll help you validate that you've got all your tags closed and they're all, no misspellings and whatnot. Third way, which is the way I've chosen to do it for the things I've been working on it with, is programmatically. Google Earth is actually doing this. As you place marks, the code behind it is programmatically generating KML for you. You can do it in pretty much any language. My language of choice for this is Python. Several languages will have XML libraries that will help you create the KML files. You just use the KML tags in place of where you would use XML tags. And some languages even have libraries for KML that were written for them. I did not find this out for the project I was working on until after I had already finished it, because I didn't do enough research, but it's not one of those things that you necessarily need. It's just something that can be helpful if you're not completely sure what you're doing. There's a couple different applications, really whatever you want, but the things I've seen it used for previously was marking paths. I actually learned about it for the first time last year in the summer at a research at Auburn University. We were tracking UAV unmanned aerial vehicle flight paths on Google Earth. Yes.
2 summers ago?
No, it's not summer, was it? Not the summer of 2012, 2011. Yes, I'm sorry. When I say last summer, I don't mean this year. 2 summers ago. Doing research at Auburn University with unmanned aerial vehicles, and we were trying to plot their paths, and someone said, hey, let's do it in Google Earth. And we're like, how? He said, KML. We said, okay, have fun with that. But it actually turned out to be pretty interesting because when you're plotting paths, you can also plot altitudes. And so we could use the altimeter in the UAV along with the GPS that we were using to guide it with, and so we could determine collisions or not based on altitude and distance in Google Earth. There's a lot of different applications to it. The one I like to show is one that I actually did for the insurance company that I work for.
How do you use that place marker to find the KML?
Right click on it, copy and paste it into your text editor. All right. I wrote a small GUI interface that I'm about to show you that allows me to pick the month and the year that I want to look at. And what this is going to do is going to plot where claims have occurred for this insurance company and going to color code the place marks based on what type of claim it was. And you have a KML file come up, and it'll have if you have Google Earth installed, since Google Earth is set to default on big KMLs, it'll show up with a little thing on it. And so just come in here and see that it's populated different place marks throughout the state of Georgia and Tennessee where different claims have occurred, and there's a couple different and I'll show you the code in just a second as to why they're different colors and whatnot. But the blue is water damage claims and the white is wind damage claims. And I was hoping to be able to find the different areas that have the most claims and of what kind. So for an insurance company, it's really important to not write in bad areas or to raise premiums if you live in a certain area to cover the cost of claims happening more often. So in this, I can go ahead and just back it up a couple months. Right now, I'm doing it off of a CSV file that I just dumped out of the database that I was working off of, but been connecting to a database and pulling it in, and then generating the KML off that. So see it populate that in. So we can look at June had not too bad claims, and then August had a few more because some hurricanes came through and a few more people found out they had leaks in their roof. But the Python that I use Python 3.2 and some of the stuff. The tkinter is the packages for the GUI interface. It's Python's graphical user interface packages. I don't think I was using regex or regular expressions in this one. That may have been from another one. The date time is for some different things, and the CSV package is for the comma separated values. Essentially, in the make KML function, what I do is I go ahead and get the month and the year that the user selected in the interface, and that's going to be used for my file name, so that I'll have a unique file name for each month and year. And then this is it's an interesting color scheme. Most of the time when you're doing colors in code, it's RGB. In Google Earth, they go blue BGR, blue, green, red, instead of red, green, blue. And the first two digits is the excuse me, the alpha, which is how opaque it is. So you can make it completely transparent, or in this case, I have it set to fully visible. So essentially broken down into 8 different claim types. We have liability, physical damage, fire, lightning, theft, vandalism, water, wind, hail, and mold. And so, based on the claim type, I go in and generate a style for the place mark. And so I'm going to create a style ID based on the type, and then I go in and create the icon style. And what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the white push pin image from Google Maps and then setting the color. If you grab the yellow one, it will stay yellow. So they give you the white one so you can color it better. So I go in and create all the different styles that I want. And then I open up my comma separated values file with the CSV reader, dump it into a a list, and then I go through, and this is a little long set of else ifs that I just went through today because there's a weird thing in the database I was pulling from that these are all physical damage, but they don't have any one thing that ties them to this. They're all different names, different numbers, but we would classify them into one category when we're doing claims. So I go through and assign a type as I come through and pass that into the style. As I create the marker, I give it that type as its ID, so it will grab that style and apply it to the place mark. And then I just pass the address of where the claim happened. I'm just doing homeowner claims because it's kind of hard to pinpoint auto claims. They don't really give you the address of where the claim happened. So once you do that, you've got all your place marks placed out, and then you close your document tag, close your KML tag, and print the file out. This right here is just the code for the GUI. And that gives you a nice little program to create KML files with Google Earth. Now, it can, like I said, it can be done in any language you want. You can do it. I wouldn't suggest any language you want. There's some that are not appropriate for this, but a lot of the scripting languages are really good for it. Ruby, Python, Perl. We can do it in JavaScript, I guess. There is one of the best online resources for this is the Google Developers. Developers.google.com/KML has a lot of tutorials and just the basics behind it, and it'll give you has a lot of samples and a lot of walkthroughs on some of the better ways to learn KML. Like I said, there's a lot of different applications for it, and it's just a tool, another tool out there for you all to use if you like. Any questions?
You could throw this up on, is there a way to import KML files into Google Maps?
Yes, they are. Hang on 1 second.
Can you just give somebody like a URL that will put it like KML tags?
Wait, say that again.
I'm wondering if you can, how easy it is to do what Michael did and embed a KML file into a website. Google Maps.
Okay, so Google Maps.
So, some JavaScript to tell Google Maps on your web page what became stuff.
Well, KML can be read by Google Maps.
Yeah.
That's what he's asking about is, hang on 1 second, I did this. I wasn't planning on doing it. this one more
Theoretically, you
time.
can.
Yeah, theoretically, this thing would realize I'm stuck in a corner. Not sure why it would. It's not doing it. Well, I don't think it is.
There's a pinpoint thing at the very top of the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the working.
Don't say that.
That was funny. Alright. Yeah. So yes, theoretically you can do it, but it's not letting you do it right now for some reason. Yeah, it says- Yeah, haven't done it with Google Maps too much, mostly in Google Earth, and I've been keeping it fairly simple as far as just place marks, color coding them, and whatnot. Another thing I've done with it, which was not really, well, it was kind of color coding it, is they have different teams of agents, and so it was color coded by team of where the agent was, and you could see how the teams were spread. They try and keep them kind of evenly spread so that one person doesn't just have all the agents in this area, meaning they're going to all have claims all the time. They're going to be the one handling all those phone calls versus someone in a nice empty area with no claims. So they try and keep that kind of spread out. Right. Any other questions? Yes, Dr. Allen.
Your app for the business, you enter a month and it shows you the pins.
Yes.
Have you thought of a way to, or have you thought about
Do
doing
it
some
by
kind of,
claim type?
no,
No.
something like animation over time, so that you can see like January, February, March, and the pins come and go, so you can sort of see the year at a glance?
I haven't thought of how to do that yet. Essentially, you can make all of the, January 2012, February 2012, all those KMLs, and then have them all open in Google Earth at the same time. So then you can look at, that one, and I'm looking at this one. So, look at that one. Or I can do both of them. So I can see, okay. So you can sort of do that. I haven't done it with, you can set up a tour, but I'm not sure if that, I don't think that will do something like that. That's just for viewing certain areas, moving around, moving the camera around.
It'd be really cool if you could, and I haven't done any
Interesting idea.
Earth stuff, but I have embedded Google Maps into a web page. Can you embed Google Earth into?
Yes, you can.
So you could have some controllers on the web page, like a little slider for month, or check boxes for the types of claims, and have a very interactive view of what's going on. Eric would like that.
Maybe. We have bigger fish to fry at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
This is something I was doing on my own time, sort of at work, that wasn't a commissioned type, hey, do this. It's kind of, hey, we don't have anything for you at the moment. Okay, I have something I'd like to try. But, yeah, so this is just
Fun. This is your 20%.
not exactly, but something like that.
Okay.
I'm running out of 20% time as we speak.
Okay.
we're getting busy, and I'm getting more responsibility that is eating up more of the in-office hours that can be used on stuff like this that may or may not be overall helpful. But yes, that is an idea that can probably be done.
What about, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out
That's
loud.
fine. I'll take ideas.
What about some claims are small dollars and some claims are big dollars?
That is another thing that can be done as well. It's not something I decided to do.
Can you play with the size of the pins, or is there some kind of indicator you could add to the map to say this was a $100 claim, this is a $100,000
You
claim?
can add labels and descriptions. So like when I go here, if I hover over this one or click on it, we can come up with that. I can also modify this right here to show that, hey, this was a $150,000 claim where we had to replace the whole house because it blew up.
Have you
I did
looked
have
at
one explosion.
Have you looked at doing it with fusion tables?
No, I have not used fusion tables. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How would one do that with fusion tables? I don't know. Another presentation?
Yeah, it'd be a good presentation. You want to do that one?
No, thank you. I'm not sure I'll have time to create more presentations. Okay. Well, that's no more questions.
We do need a presentation next week.
Michael with house.
Did they drop out?
Yeah.
Oh, we never heard from Code for America
Apparently they're doing a presentation elsewhere.
at that time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we could just go to their presentation. What kind of presentation are they doing?
Let me check.
I am a path of least resistance kind of guy.
I feel like that means you shouldn't have tests because that way you don't have to grade them.
Oh, but I enjoy grading. I should give you a test every day, Stephen.
I agree. We should call them quizzes.
Stephen, some of your classmates would just want to slap you.
No, because in our class, you literally could get perfect on 10 quizzes and then not answer any of the rest.
Well, that's why I'll time the 10th quiz to be near the end of the semester.
I don't like that idea. Because you put in the syllabus, it would be more than 10.
It will be.
The 11th one will be the last possible day.
Yeah,
that
the
it will be
11th
given.
one will
I
be
feel like we should
the
have
day
Make
before
sure
the
that you show
final.
up.
They're presenting to the city council.
Oh, definitely you should go then.
Yeah, we should go and cheer them on.
Yeah, it can
They're presenting at the city council, or is it going to be like on campus?
to the city council.
Instructions on how to do it.
Yeah,
To land it, you have to, one, make sure it's level, not slightly off level or crash. You have to
Does anybody want to say something?
approach a flat area, press page down to reduce thrust and slow the aircraft, press G to extend the landing gear, press F to increase the flap setting. And then once you have touchdown, you have to use the wheel brakes to slow the aircraft, pressing comma and period for left and right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. So they're keeping you busy, huh?
Yeah, very.
More and more.
They're slowly building the responsibilities list, which is okay.
It is okay.
Yeah, I was out at spinning this morning with one of my guys talking to Jimmy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for about an hour and a
Now,
half.
why were y'all talking with Jimmy?
Because they're doing some stuff for us.
They do, like,
They do a lot of stuff for us.
equipment stuff?
Website stuff this time.
Yeah.
They do website and equipment stuff.
That's so funny.
We work with them all the time.
But you'll also work with
IDMI.
IDMI.
Horrible.
Well, that's not
IDMI is horrible.
Really?
They're awful.
Spinning's good?
Spinning's good. IDMI, it's not necessarily the people, it's the product. Horrible, and a lot of the people, don't really have an understanding of the business needs mixed with the
I'm gonna have
product.
to talk to those people.
It is.
Well, so you're the first person. Of course, I'm only hearing what the company lets me hear, but I've always heard good things about ID lines.
Not a good thing to be said.
Huh. Well, are y'all gonna stop using them?